Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Global Times USA. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today, we're going to explore one of the most dramatic and troubling developments in the ongoing war. Missiles rain on Lviv. Russia expands attacks beyond frontlines. This is not just a headline, it's a turning point in the conflict. In this video, we'll take you through the big picture, the inside human experience, the performance of the attacks, the safety measures in place, what makes this situation unique, the heavy cost being paid, and finally, what it all means for the future. Let's begin with the exterior, the broader view of what's happening. From the outside, Lviv, a city once considered a refuge far from the main battle zones, has now become part of the war's expanding circle. The skyline that once shimmered with calm and European charm is now filled with plumes of smoke and fire. Videos show missiles streaking across the sky, explosions lighting up the night, and fire consuming parts of residential blocks and industrial zones. Satellite images reveal widespread damage to buildings, bridges, and energy infrastructure. Power grids, railway stations, and communication towers have been among the most targeted areas. These strikes are not random, they are designed to stretch defenses and spread fear. For months, Lviv was known as a hub for displaced families, humanitarian operations, and international missions. Now, even those zones have come under threat. The exterior in this context represents both the scale of destruction and the symbolic expansion of the war's reach. Russia's missiles have crossed not only geographical boundaries but psychological ones too. Now, let's go deeper into the interior. The interior side of this tragedy is where the real human story lies. Inside homes, hospitals, and shelters, life has been turned upside down. When the sirens start to wail, families rush to basements, mothers clutch their children, and the elderly struggle to move quickly. The sound of explosions echoes through stairwells. Windows shatter, ceilings crack, and rooms fill with dust and fear. In hospitals, doctors and nurses work tirelessly under immense pressure. Backup generators keep critical equipment alive as power grids fail. Medical teams treat victims of the blast, shrapnel wounds, burns, fractures, and trauma. In some cases, even hospital wards have suffered direct hits, forcing staff to move patients into hallways and underground shelters. Schools and universities, once filled with students' laughter, now stand silent or are converted into temporary shelters. Teachers have turned classrooms into safe spaces, arranging mats, blankets, and food for displaced families. Inside government offices, officials struggle to maintain order. Communication networks are fragile, and decisions are made under pressure. Emergency responders work long hours, clearing debris, rescuing trapped civilians, and assessing structural damage. Firefighters battle flames without rest, often without knowing whether more missiles are on the way. Emotionally, the interior of every person in Lviv tells a different story of fear and resilience. Parents reassure children that it will be fine, though they themselves are uncertain. Volunteers risk their lives to deliver food and water. Journalists report live from shattered streets, balancing truth and danger. The interior, therefore, is not just about physical spaces, it's about the human heart enduring chaos. Now, let's talk about performance, how this wave of missile attacks has unfolded in tactical and operational terms. The missile strikes appear to be carefully coordinated. They come in waves, often mixing different types of projectiles, long-range cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones to overwhelm Ukrainian air defenses. Launches happen at night, from multiple directions, to confuse radar systems and interceptors. Ukraine's defense systems, including Patriot and S-300 interceptors, have managed to shoot down a number of missiles. However, not all are intercepted. Some slip through, striking power facilities and residential buildings. This shows that while air defense performance is improving, the attackers are adapting fast. From a purely technical standpoint, the attacks show a high degree of synchronization, missile trajectories adjusted for distance and timing. The goal is not just physical destruction, but also to test how quickly defenses can respond. Each attack is a data point for both sides, testing technology, response time, and resilience. However, performance is not just about military effectiveness. It's about consequences. The attacks have disrupted transport lines, delayed humanitarian deliveries, and created widespread power outages. For ordinary people, performance translates to survival. How quickly can they find shelter? How fast can emergency teams arrive? And how soon can the city recover? Next, let's move to safety features, what protections are in place, and how they're being used. Lviv, like many Ukrainian cities, has a well-developed air raid alert system. Sirens, mobile notifications, and radio warnings are activated minutes before impact. People have learned to respond quickly. Basements of apartment blocks, parking garages, and underground metro stations have been converted into shelters. Some are stocked with basic supplies, water, first aid kits, blankets, while others remain overcrowded and under-equipped. Hospitals and critical buildings rely on backup generators, while fire brigades have mobile water sources in case of infrastructure damage. Volunteers maintain emergency supply points for those who lose access to food and clean water. On the technological side, Ukraine has improved its radar tracking and communication with allied intelligence systems. This helps identify missile launch patterns and improves interception rates. However, the reality is that safety features can only do so much. Against high-speed ballistic missiles, the window of reaction is sometimes less than 2 minutes. Still, the resilience of Lviv's people acts as the city's greatest safety feature. They've learned to adapt, to prepare, and to stand together. Children now know exactly where to run when sirens sound. Communities organize rapid aid teams. Local tech groups even help maintain digital communication networks during blackouts. Now let's consider what makes this attack different, the unique aspects of this new escalation. Unlike earlier phases of the war, where strikes were mostly concentrated near frontlines or critical infrastructure, this new wave extends deep into western Ukraine. Lviv had long been a symbol of safety, a rear base for refugees and international aid. By targeting it, Russia sends a message: nowhere is beyond reach. The timing is also significant. These attacks come during crucial political and diplomatic moments, possibly aimed at pressuring both Ukraine and its allies. They serve both as military action and psychological warfare, shaking confidence and morale. Another unique element is the combination of drone and missile technology. Using drones as decoys and missiles as primary strike tools has increased the complexity of defense operations. The strikes also seem to target energy grids deliberately, aiming to plunge cities into darkness and cold as winter approaches. Finally, the symbolic weight of Lviv cannot be ignored. It's a historic city, a cultural heart, and often described as the soul of Western Ukraine. Striking Lviv is not just about strategy, it's about symbolism. It aims to show that no heritage, no distance, no sanctuary is immune from the reach of modern warfare. Now, let's talk about the price, the devastating cost that comes with these attacks. The human cost is unbearable. Civilians have lost lives, homes, and loved ones. Injuries range from physical wounds to deep psychological scars. Children who once played in parks now flinch at the sound of thunder, mistaking it for another explosion. The economic price is staggering. Rebuilding power plants, repairing roads, restoring hospitals at all costs billions. Businesses are disrupted, supply chains broken, and industries paralyzed. Even small shops and cafes closed down, unable to function amid blackouts and fear. The political cost is equally heavy. These strikes test the resolve of Ukraine's government and its allies. They raise questions about global response, air defense assistance, and the limits of deterrence. Every attack becomes not just a local tragedy, but an international signal. There's also the social price, the exhaustion of people who live in constant anxiety. The endless cycle of alerts, hiding, and rebuilding takes a toll on mental health. Yet amid the pain, there's unity. The people of Lviv have shown remarkable courage, volunteering, donating, and helping each other through every crisis. And now the conclusion. The missile attacks on Lviv mark a chilling new chapter in this war. They reveal how the front lines are no longer confined to battlefields. They now reach into homes, hospitals, and the hearts of cities once thought untouchable. From the exterior destruction to the interior human experience, the story of Lviv is one of tragedy and resilience. The performance of both sides, attackers and defenders, highlights the evolution of modern warfare. The safety systems, though strained, continue to save lives. The unique aspect of these strikes, their reach, symbolism, and timing, reminds the world that this war is not static. And the price measured in lives, infrastructure, and psychological endurance is paid every single day. Yet despite all this, hope survives. Communities rebuild, volunteers rise, and the spirit of the people remains unbroken. Lviv's story is a warning, but also a testament to resilience in the face of devastation. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Global Times USA for more global analysis and real stories from around the world. Stay informed, stay aware, and above all, stay hopeful.